So this is real. The Trump administration just nominated Dr. Susan Monarez to lead the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Here's the announcement from Donald Trump. He says, "I'm proud to announce that Dr. Susan Monarez is my nominee to serve as the next director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC. Dr. Monarez brings decades of experience championing innovation, transparency, and strong public health systems. She has a PhD from the University of Wisconsin and postdoctoral training in microbiology and immunology at Stanford University School of Medicine. As an incredible mother and dedicated public servant, Dr. Monarez understands the importance of protecting our children, our communities, and our future. Americans have lost confidence in the CDC due to political bias and disastrous mismanagement. Dr. Monarez will work closely with our great Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert Kennedy Jr. Together, they will prioritize accountability, high standards, and disease prevention to finally address the chronic disease epidemic and make America healthy again." Okay, so most Americans have no idea who Susan Monarez is, but they should, because her resume reads like a script from a dystopian sci-fi thriller. Monarez isn't some friendly public health bureaucrat. She's not a doctor you'd see treating patients. She's a biosecurity architect forged in the heart of the national security state. Her background isn't public health, it's biodefense, DARPA, and surveillance-era innovation. She cut her teeth in the Pentagon's inner circles, from the Department of Homeland Security to the National Nuclear Security Administration. And now she's the deputy director of ARPA-H, the newest alphabet agency you've probably never heard of, but absolutely should have. ARPA-H, the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health, was sold to the public as a cancer-fighting moonshot. Modeled after DARPA, the military's bleeding-edge innovation lab, ARPA-H was billed as the place where bold, high-risk, disruptive health tech would be born. What they didn't tell you is that it would also be where tools of surveillance, behavior manipulation, and biometric control would quietly be developed, all in the name of health. You didn't vote for it. Congress didn't debate it. It was slipped into existence in 2022 with billions of taxpayer dollars and given sweeping power to partner with private industry, big tech, and the intelligence community, all while operating with minimal oversight. One of ARPA-H's flagship programs is something called DigiHeals, short for Digital Health Security. And it's not about healing. It's about securing the digital health domain. That means biometric authentication, real-time health monitoring, and integrating wearables and implants to track your vitals, your mood, and your movements constantly, for your safety, of course. Another program, Nitro, which stands for Novel Innovations for Tissue Regeneration in Osteoarthritis, might sound benign, but like many ARPA-H projects, it's less about medicine and more about transforming the human body into a data-producing platform. Think neural interfaces, smart tissues, and remote regenerative tech, all managed by platforms that feed back into a centralized data system. And then there's RADx-RAD, a so-called radical diagnostics program developed during COVID and absorbed into the ARPA-H ecosystem. Its goal? To detect diseases before symptoms even appear using AI, wastewater monitoring, and passive biosurveillance. You could be flagged as a health risk before you even know you're sick. No consent required. So here's Susan Monarez speaking on DARPA TV about the use of AI and how it can accelerate health outcomes.
We think about advancing AI for healthcare in a number of different facets. So some are direct to the patients. What tools and what capabilities can we develop to help them really understand where they are in their healthcare journey and empower them to make great decisions? We also think about AI from the provider side. So how can we help providers better understand their patients? How can we help providers optimize their time within the health system as they're seeing patients, as they're trying to make complex decisions to create the conditions for improved patient health outcomes? We also think about AI from the defensive side. So we understand that there is a great vulnerability within the health ecosystem. More and more is coming online in the Internet of Things that are going to have an incredibly positive effect, but we also know it creates vulnerabilities. And so we're using that same AI technology to help defend against those vulnerabilities, to anticipate the negative implications that are happening within the health systems, and to try to stay ahead of it.
So now Monarez wants to bring that same high-risk military-grade mindset to the CDC. the agency that utterly lost the public's trust during COVID, an agency that told you to mask your toddler, close your business, take the jab, and shut up. And instead of reforming it, we're doubling down with someone whose entire worldview is about preemptive control, predictive tech, and government-led bio-intervention. Now, let's not forget, before Monarez, Trump floated Dr. Dave Weldon for the role, a former congressman and a respected physician with an actual track record of standing up to big pharma. But Republican senators, many bankrolled by the pharmaceutical industry, smeared him as anti-vax and forced him to withdraw. He was excellent, so they buried him. And when another strong candidate emerged, Dr. Joseph Ladapo, Florida's Surgeon General, who actually stood for medical freedom during COVID, they passed him over. Instead, we get Susan Monarez, the DARPA H alum whose vision of health is driven by machine learning, biometric scans, and behavioral nudging. Let's be honest, Susan Monarez isn't just a nominee, she's a symbol of what public health has become, not about healing the sick or supporting doctors, but about managing populations, deploying behavior-modifying tech, and expanding state power and surveillance under the banner of science and health. People aren't stupid. They remember how experts failed them. They remember how public health became a tool for authoritarian control, vaccine mandates, school closures, speech suppression, tracking apps, and now the very people who architected that system are being promoted. After facing major backlash from the Maha base and other liberty-minded Americans, RFK Jr. responded, and here's where things get a little bit strange. RFK claimed that he personally selected Monarez, a bold claim that raised eyebrows. He also clarified that those pro-mask, pro-vax tweets coming from the CDC director's account weren't hers, but leftovers from her predecessor. And technically that's true, but that's not the only reason people are angry. It's not about the old tweets. It's about what she represents. The fusion of military biosurveillance with public health policy, the normalization of government-controlled medicine wrapped in algorithmic enforcement. This isn't about keeping you healthy, it's about keeping you in line. And Susan Monarez, with her DARPA pedigree and her ARPA-H moonshot mindset, is the perfect agent for that mission. And we're told ARPA-H would solve cancer. And what we got instead was a pipeline to hyper-surveillance, predictive policing of biology, and the normalization of real-time biometric tracking, all wrapped in the language of health equity. Now she's being handed the keys to the CDC, the agency that could shut down your life with a single emergency declaration. You think lockdowns are done? You think they won't bring back mandates, quarantine camps, or digital health passes? Think again, because this isn't public health. This is biopolitical warfare, a new era where your biology is monitored, flagged, and controlled by the very people who weaponized health policy during the last crisis. And unless Americans start pushing back hard, the pandemic playbook is coming back for a sequel. And this time, it'll be even more high-tech, even more unaccountable, and even harder to escape. Have you heard about Senolytics yet? These incredible ingredients discovered less than 10 years ago are being hailed as a game changer for promoting healthy aging and boosting our physical prime. Let's be honest, aging can really zap our energy and productivity. That's why I use Qualia Senolytic. If someone had told me there are science-backed ingredients that could make me feel 15 years younger, I wouldn't have believed it until I tried it myself. So what are senescent cells? Well, as we age, everyone accumulates these so-called zombie cells in their body. These cells cause symptoms of aging like aches, slow workout recovery, and that dreaded middle-age energy slump. Well, Qualia Senolytic acts like pruning dead leaves off a plant, removing those worn-out cells so healthy ones can thrive. And get this, you only need to take it 2 days a month. That's it. Qualia Senolytic is non-GMO, vegan, and gluten-free with ingredients designed to work together seamlessly. Plus, they offer a 100-day money-back guarantee. Personally, I've noticed higher energy levels and a boost in productivity and enthusiasm for life. So if you want to resist aging at the cellular level, try Qualia Senolytic. Head to qualialife.com/Kim for up to 50% off and use code Kim at checkout for an additional 15% off. That's qualialife.com. That's QUALIA life.com/Kim. Thanks for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you can check out Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Just head to KimIversonShow.com. It is free to watch. Again, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Just go to KimIversonShow.com to get the full experience. Thanks for watching.